Hey, great afternoon, fantastic Friday, and Facebook. Beep. I won't say anything bad about Facebook. Man, it took me like 4 tries, and finally we scrapped Facebook, and we're on Be Live. Good old reliable Be Live. I want to do it like a side by side with my mentor Gordon. So he's got a wealth of stuff to share with me today. And man, oh man, Facebook was frustrating me. It kept making me go upside down and backwards and stand on my head. And ouch! As Ian Gordon says last night on if you missed it, you better hop over and listen. He had a lot of great Facebook advice for us. And one of his things is say, hey, be bold, get emotional, and just be bold. So, hey, people, this is why I paid the $15 a month for Be Live. I know some people are like, wow, I don't want to have, I don't know, I'm going to stick with free. Free is nice. Free works sometimes, but sometimes free is super frustrating, and that's what Facebook was doing to me today. So he said, come over to Be Live. Let's produce a real show with real branding, real guests. And look at that. I go, hey, look at there, Gordon. So I can put up his name. I can write in comments. And this is why, people, if you're serious about your business and you want to host a real show on Facebook, I know Facebook is nice, but Be Live is even better. Hey, all right, enough of my rant. I'm like, not quite Gary Vee. It's not quite a crazy rant, but maybe I'll start off the show by being bold, and I'll have my rant of the day. I'll pick a topic. Could be Facebook, could be traffic in Toronto. That was my rant yesterday. It took me like an hour to get back to Etobicoke. Oh, I just about pulled my hair out. But hey, enough of this. It's a fantastic Friday. It's all good, and just be happy. That's what about podcasts. We get ready. When I dropped the podcast recording with Lynn McIntosh this morning, he said, hey, as a life coach, one thing she learned is just be happy. So Gordon, take a deep breath. Just be happy.
How you doing, Mr. Richards?
Yo, I have a lot of first world problems today. You know, there's second world problems, third world problems. You know, there's hurricanes, there's floods. I have first world problems. My Facebook feed would not work for me properly today. So, hey, sucks to be me. But other than that, I am awesome. I am super awesome because someone gave me a kick in the seat of the pants on Monday of this week or Tuesday. I forget what day of the week it was. Someone gave me a serious kick in the seat of the pants. And then we're just going crazy. Someone said, "When you are producing content like mad." And it's all because of this gentleman. If you don't know this gentleman, his name is Gordon. So he is, I don't know what you are. He's the man behind the scenes who's coming out. So not coming out of the closet. He's just coming out from behind the scenes. Entrepreneur. But he dropped this little comment about, hey, let's talk about needy or greedy. And hey, when you're building your business or your network marketing company, Gordon, are you who are you looking for? Are you looking for needy people? Are you looking for greedy people? What kind of people are you looking for? Is that what we're talking about today? Needy or greedy?
Yeah, absolutely. Want to talk about that?
Yeah, I like it. I like the topic, and pretty soon I'm going to just ask you the good questions, and then I'm going to sit back and put myself on mute. I'll stay on. I won't disappear, but I've done so much talking today, I'm almost talked out.
Awesome. Well, first of all, Dwayne, thanks for having me on again, and for the folks.
I lost your audio. I don't have any audio. I lost you. You were crackly, and then you went no sound. No sound. Arrgh! After I pumped up Be Live, and said, hey, Be Live's so much better than Facebook, and now Gordon doesn't have any audio. Arrgh. Can you hear me? You can hear me? I can't hear Gordon. Oh my goodness. Technology is not my friend today. People, what's going on? I thought technology was the savior. Take a deep breath. One more time. Think happy thoughts. This is your meditation minute with your meditating guru, genius, Dwayne Richards. We're going to think happy thoughts, happy thoughts.
Are we working? Are we back?
Deep breaths. I think I hear Gordon.
Are we back?
Oh, we're back.
Manifestation, right?
I just had to manifest that. I had to do a little meditating.
Imagination.
I had to take a deep breath. I sent a happy message through the mind to Mark Zuckerberg saying, please just make your product work for me this afternoon. It's such a wonderful product. Like, where would life be without Facebook? And don't make me mad. Don't make me go to Periscope or something else. Like, let's just all be friends. All right, enough of that silliness. Hey, greedy or needy? And you spent a little bit. You spent like 5 minutes, or you spent a couple minutes in network marketing. You built a. If people don't know, we won't have to tell them the number. You built a really successful business a couple of times.
Yes.
It took 1 or 2 tries to find the right one, and then when you found the right one, you crushed it. You brought these guys to Canada, and then so you have a wealth of. You're like a day older than me. Like, I have this grayness, so you're a day older than me.
I'm still trying to grow my first whisker there, Dwayne.
There you go. And people come to me as an advisor, as a business person, and ask me advice on network marketing and building businesses. And I'm still kind of in the infancy of building my business, but it's growing, it's getting there, and it's going well. But then I'm going to bring on one of my mentors who's like a couple steps ahead of me, and let's tap into his experience, his wealth of knowledge, and his wealth of experiences to touch on this topic about who's the right person for helping you build your business, or from a customer point of view. Is it the needy person, or is it the greedy person? I don't know.
Good question, Dwayne. First of all, Dwayne, I want to thank you for having me on. And you guys give Dwayne some hearts here, right?
Yeah, I need some hearts today. I need to feel appreciation, because Facebook was not my friend. And but hey, sometimes we just have to take a deep breath.
That's right. So all these hoops that you just had to jump through to get this to work is amazing. Facebook is free, so I mean, you live with what you have, right? So the nice thing about Facebook is there's 2 billion people a day coming on here. And if somebody says I have no money, like I have no money to grow my business, well, Facebook is free. And if you learn how to use Facebook properly, like what you're doing with Facebook Lives, and create influence, you can create people that will want to follow you, will want to do business with you. So Facebook is good. So you got the good, bad, the ugly you've experienced today. So again, give Dwayne some smiles here, or happy faces you've experienced today, that when Facebook is down, or you can't get on to Facebook or Facebook Live, it does affect your business. And that's one of the reasons why, before we get into the needy and the greedy, okay, let's talk about the importance of building your own following, which is what you're doing, Dwayne, which I have a lot of respect for. You're doing that with Facebook Lives. You do that with podcasting. You're helping your clients actually build a following, building a massive mailing list. So now you actually control your list and your clients. So if anything ever happens to, whatever platform, whether it's Facebook, whether it's LinkedIn, whatever platform we're in, you're not at the mercy of the platform you're using, because you have your own list that you can control, which is absolutely amazing.
Yeah.
So your question about
hey, before I like that thought, and just before we get everyone getting your great content, hey, we're going to use a couple of the tips we learned from Ian Gordon last night. So because we were having audio problems, and I want to make sure that everyone can hear what Gordon's about to say, because Gordon's not going to share this, he's not going to say this 10 times. He's going to share it once. So, hey, if you can hear us, if the audio sounds great now with our patience, hey, just drop in a number 2 in the comment section, just to let us know that everything sounds good on your end, because Gordon's time's valuable. And I don't want any more technology glips, because just because it sounds good on our end, Gordon, I want our listeners to let us know that everything's good on their end. So if they can drop in a number 2 in the comment section, thank you so much, my friend Ted. He's there. He's given us the number 2. That means it's a go. So 2 means go. And also one last thing: if people think that they're about to hear some pearls of wisdom, why not hit the share button? And that way, people that your friends can actually get ready to hear Gordon as well. So, hey, I know it's kind of like holding people hostage, but hey, if you want to add value to your audience, then just hit the share button. And look I knew we're getting there, Gordon. We're getting there, because there's our friend Ann. Ann's on. She's saying hi to you and to me. So we're going to see Ann on the 26th, I bet, but we won't worry about the 26th yet. All right, Gordon, now go.
Awesome. You know, direct sales network marketing, Dwayne, that's something that's been around for a while. And, you know, it's for some people, you know, if you ask them, do you like direct sales network marketing? Some people say yes, and some people say no, right? So, and you're, you know, if you don't like network marketing, give us some angry faces if you want. If you love network marketing, let's give Dwayne some hearts here. One of the things that I discovered over the years, I was in the industry for about 20 years. I've been out of the industry for about 10 years, and I met some individuals that have gone on to become hog nasty, filthy, stinking rich. They didn't just become rich in the direct sales industry. They became hog nasty, filthy, stinking rich, if that makes sense or not. And, you know, a good friend of mine, Dwayne, right here in Toronto, the company that he's with, the direct sales network marketing company he's with, was just ranked in Fortune 100 magazine as the #1 fastest growing publicly traded company in the world. Is that amazing? Think of that for a minute. Not the fastest growing network marketing company in the world, but they're ranked as the #1 fastest growing publicly traded company in the world. And for the folks who are, you know, constantly talking about buying shares, buying stocks, buying into public companies, this is a company that's in direct sales and the #1 fastest growing. Not just this year, they were #1 last year as well. And on that list, Dwayne, of #1 fastest growing, Facebook was actually #2. You and I just talked about the struggle you had, you know, trying to get this lined up, which normally doesn't happen. But, you know, the struggle of us trying 3, 4, 5 times just to get onto this Facebook Live. Facebook, they're a giant. They're not just a giant. They're going to become even, I don't know what the word is, you know, you grow a giant. Facebook's been grown as a giant. Now you got to feed this giant. Some of the things that Facebook has coming down the pipe is absolutely unbelievable. So to beat out Facebook is quite an achievement. Would you agree with that? And then 3 years ago, they were actually #2. They were #2 in the world, fastest growing publicly traded company. And then last year, #1, and this year, so 3 consecutive years in a row, they're right up there at the top. So when someone says, does network marketing work? The answer is yes, 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 and yes. And you've got to ask some people who failed at it, and you say, does network marketing work? They'll tell you all day long that it doesn't work. And so just like what Henry Ford said, if you think you can, you can. If you think you can't, you can't. So my message I want to share to your audience, your clients, is if you are in direct sales network marketing, make sure you find a company that you've fallen in love with. Make sure you find a company with a product or services that you've fallen in love with. Right? And the owners of the company and the leadership, your sponsor, your upline, your downline, your crossline, whatever line, and make sure you're so passionate about it and you have a purpose, like a definite purpose of why you're in the business, where no matter what happens, you never get knocked out of the box. I mean, you're so obsessed with it, you're living and breathing it 24/7 a day. And so my buddy here in Oakville, whose company's done over $2 billion in sales. That's absolutely incredible. Does that make sense? And, you know, yesterday we talked about my friend Robert Hollis, who's made over $48 million in the network marketing industry. Okay. A friend of mine who's a mentor of mine, when I was a kid here, growing up here in Toronto, he was actually my Sunday school teacher, Dwayne. He went on to become the CEO for Mary Kay Cosmetics. So we all know the pink Cadillacs, we all know Mary Kay, but we don't know there's a guy named John Rochon, who was the fellow behind Mary Kay, took them from $500 million to $4 billion in sales. And today, his own company, Richemont, which is a direct sales company, you ready for this? over $46 billion in sales today.
Wow.
$46 billion. So when people say direct sales doesn't work, talk to John, talk to Joe, right? Talk to Mr. Byron Nelson, talk to James Dantley, talk to the folks that have been there and done it. So as you're building and growing your business, you got to build and develop a team. Would you agree with that? And you want to recruit and sponsor individuals that that's going to take the business and run with it, without you. That's, to me, is the key to success. So if you ever find someone, if you ever find a leader, they're like an elephant. There's nothing you can do to stop them, and there's nothing you can do to help them. You just got to get out of their way, okay? So when I was building my business in the network marketing industry, I was looking for two types of people: the folks who are greedy and the folks who are needy. Okay, so you got the greedy and you got the needy. So let me explain to you who the greedy people are, because unfortunately most people think, well, I'm going to go find somebody who needs it. I'm going to find the people who are needy. I'm going to find people who need it the most. But really, here's what you're looking for. You're looking for the greedy. So who's greedy? Number one, people are hungry for success. Do you know people are hungry for success? Okay, they are so hungry for success that they're hungry and they're entrepreneurs. Okay, and number two, they will work harder than any other person. So if you're an entrepreneur and you have a hunger for success, does that make you greedy? No. If you work harder than anybody else, does that make you greedy? If you're looking for people who have a work ethic, their work ethic is so strong that they can outwork anybody. If somebody has a strong work ethic, does it make them greedy? Of course not, right? You're looking for people who are willing to put in the time, money, and energy, and others, Les Brown says some people are willing to do today, Dwayne, what other people are not willing to do, so they can have tomorrow what others won't have. Does that make sense? So just because somebody's willing to work from 8 to paint, that's what I'm looking for. If they're willing to work from 8 to paint, they're willing to put in the time, they're willing to pay the price, they're willing to do whatever it takes to succeed. Does that make them greedy? I remember, you guys know the Highway 401 here that stretches all the way from Windsor, Ontario, from about Detroit, Windsor, all the way across, let's say as far as Montreal for a minute. I remember days when I was driving my network marketing business where I would drive from Toronto to Ottawa. It'd be a 4, 5, 6 hour drive in a snowstorm. You guys remember those days? I remember days when I would get there and I get there 5, 6 hours later through a snowstorm and there'd be a no-show. Talk about disappointment. And then you get back in the car and you got 5, 6, 7, 8 hours, and normally it should take 3 or 4 hours depending on how fast you drive, right? And I remember being in blinding snowstorms. I remember being days when I got home and woke up the next morning, I didn't even remember. Can you guys relate to that? You don't even remember how you actually got home. You're like, did I really go down that street? Did I go through a green light or a red light? Do you guys remember that? So I'm looking always for people that are willing to put in the time, that have the work ethic, that's willing to outwork the next person. Does that make them greedy? I don't think so. Okay. So is a greedy person who's willing to go the extra mile. There are people who say, well, I'll go the extra mile. Do you know people like that? And if you find people who come into your organization that's bragging about how they're going to always go the extra mile, chances are they're not. Because if somebody needs to talk about it and brag about it, they're probably not the person who's going to do what they say that they bragged about. Does that make sense to you? Okay. So find people who are truly willing to go the extra mile. The people who are willing to go the extra mile, does that make them greedy? Of course not. Or people who are willing to grind while others are sleeping. Have you noticed that? While you're sleeping, someone's eating your lunch. Have you noticed there are people who say, I'm broke. So why are you going to bed if you're broke? You should be out there working. And if your network marketing business, this is a side note, if your network marketing business isn't generating the income that you need right now, swallow your pride. Maybe you have to go get a part-time job. Not necessarily a full-time job, but at least get a job that's going to bring in the income that's going to pay the bills. Does that make sense? And while you're building and you're grinding and you're grinding and grinding, to me, that's the best part of the business. I love the grind. I can't understand it when people say to me, stop grinding. Why are you grinding? I remember opening up new companies in new countries, in Hong Kong, in Mexico, here in Canada, in the United Kingdom, when there's no company, there's no product, there's no service. Everyone says, you're crazy. You're crazy. What if this company never comes? What if the products and services get turned down by Industry Canada? What if the CRTC won't allow them to come in with your telecom company and compete with the giants like the AT&Ts and the Bells of the world? I mean, you're absolutely crazy. But you're looking for the greedy are dreamers. They dream big, they act big. So just because someone dreams big and act big, does that make them greedy? Of course not.
No.
Right? They're the people who they turn the word impossible into possible. You take the word impossible and you take I am possible. It's not impossible, it's I am. They're the people that people are always saying to you, what are you doing? Can't you, haven't anybody told you it can't be done? Are they greedy just because they're out there working 24/7 so they can actually have a life and a financial future for their families that other people may not have in the future because they're not willing to pay the price? Okay, and greedy people they're willing to invest in their mindset. Have you noticed that? They're investing in their personal development and their personal growth just because they invest in their mindset and their personal growth so they can actually go out there and do more and make more and have more and they can serve more. Does that make them greedy?
Yeah.
Okay. So they're positive individuals. They hate negativity. They run away from negativity. So if somebody's running away from you, does that make them greedy? Because they no longer want to have associated with the kind of lifestyle they used to have, people that actually drag them down. Okay. So what does the needy do? The needy is always sitting there thinking, I want something for nothing. Have you met people like that? Just because they're needy doesn't mean they're going to go to work. Just because they're needy doesn't mean they have a strong work ethic. Just because they're needy doesn't mean they're going to pay the price and do what it takes to succeed. So I'm looking for those entrepreneurs who are greedy. And that's what I believe, Dwayne, are the individuals you need to have in your organization if you want to succeed, whether it's in direct sales, whether it's in insurance, whether it's in real estate, whether it's in retail, whether it's in banking. You need those individuals that are greedy, that are going to go out there and do whatever it takes to succeed. So I hope that helps, Dwayne.
Oh, I love it. It's so helpful because it is just it's a perspective. It's my how I view someone. And like I said, until you get to know them or see it from their point of view, because so often as nurturers we see the needy people and we're like, oh, we just want to help everyone, or when we meet people in the network, it's like, oh, I just want to help. I just want to help everyone I see. I just want to put my arms around them, lift them up, and just help them. And I'm like, well, that's nice, but some people don't really want your help. They say they want your help, but when it comes to actually helping themselves, they don't actually want to get up off the couch and take that first step. And it's just like we say, like with our podcasting programs, like, hey, I'm more than happy to do like 90% of the heavy lifting, but you still I can't talk for you. I can do everything else for your podcast, but I can't do the talking for you. So you still have to there's a piece, and if you really want it, you have to get over that piece and do that first. You have to take that first step. So I love that stuff. All right, and hey, and the people. Sometimes there's the people that say, "Yeah, you crazy guys! Like, what do you know? What do you know you're talking about?" It happened again today, Gordon. I was on Facebook Live. One of the people that came to our podcasting workshop, Susie came on. I put in a number. I said, "Hey, put in a number 1 if you want to join us."
At you, right? They think you're crazy. You're a dreamer.
I put a number 1 in if you want to come join us. So she puts in a number 1. She says, "Hey, guess what? I'm ready. I had some stuff. I got through it. I'm ready. I'm ready to podcast." I'm like, "Fantastic! Then let's take the next step. Let's get started." So people, hey, if you're watching this, Facebook Lives do work because it's a great way to. I'm glad I wasn't in the business when you were. I'm glad I didn't have to drive all the way to Windsor I can just sit in the comfort of my own home, go on live video and talk and engage with people without having to drive through a snowstorm. Though my one video looked like a snowstorm because the quality was so bad. But okay. Hey, you answered my question. So hey, how about we talked a little bit about yesterday. I think we can plant the seed again today. September 26th is coming up with the Empowering Women to Succeed Summit. We have a couple fantastic speakers that are going to be there. So from a personal development point of view, maybe share your experiences from network marketing and how you when you were in the business, I'm sure you had opportunities to go listen to some fantastic speakers, and I'm willing to bet, I may be wrong, I'm willing to bet that you took those opportunities. When someone gave you the opportunity, you said yes, you got in the car, you drove, you went and listened to some fantastic leaders, speakers who've been in the business, who've done it, have succeeded in the business, and that's where you got part of your learning. And so maybe share a story from your experience. We won't talk even about our event. In the past, share experience about how, like, maybe when you went and you heard somebody speak, and how that helped you in your business, like when you were doing the business. I think that's better. I like that.
Absolutely. Dwayne, I remember when I got started in the network marketing industry, the first company I was with, I never went to any events, any seminars out of town. Right. So right here in Toronto, we had something called the Toronto Success Center. Mm-hmm. And if you've been to say you go to a brand new Remax office, that's what it was like. It was so professional. It was unbelievable. There was a room a theater that sat 200 to 300 people. Mm. And whoever put that center together, I swear to this day, they hire some of the finest carpenters. Like, what's what I'm looking for? I can't even think of the word, but carpenters who do the fine carpentry. Yeah. I mean, everything was perfect. The stage was perfect. The seating was perfect. Everything, the screen, the display, where they put the product, it was just unbelievable. And we had about 20, 30 offices there, and every day, 12 noon, 7:30 in the evening, with opportunity meetings, evening meetings, like twice a day. And we have like business luncheons. We have Saturdays. We have so much going on in the city for about 4 or 5 years. So we average thousands and thousands of people that would come through. They come through. We have an effective presentation. We close them. We bring the next group through. And we just did a day in, day out, for several years. That's how I learned the network marketing industry. And then back then, I was kind of doing okay, struggling, doing okay. And my leadership would say to me, "You got to come to a national convention." And I'm like, "Why? Like, why would I leave Toronto and fly to Phoenix, Arizona and spend money? Or Scottsdale, Arizona, right?" And I just didn't understand that. And then when I got into, when that company had its issues, they're actually still around today. And they're doing well. And there's an individual there that's probably made over $100 million to date in that industry. And he was actually a waiter. They're 27, 28, 29 years old at the time. And that kind of sold me to get into the industry. I thought, if this kid's a waiter and he was broke and he had to borrow $5,000 to get started and he can do it, maybe I can do it too. Okay. So my second company I got into, I met some individuals who were diamond executives of Amway. And so while people laugh at Amway, man, the owners of Amway, they don't just make hundreds of thousands and millions of dollars. They own sports franchises. These guys are they're billionaires. They're not just multimillionaires. And so the folks in Amway taught me about books, tapes, rallies, and seminars, and area rallies and regionals and dream nights, etc. And I embraced that. That was when I finally started to listen to audio cassettes. Mm. Now, I know there's a lot of joking around now on Facebook. I saw the other day where someone actually handed an audio tape to 3 of their kids, like 10 years and under, and their kids are actually holding the audio tape, and the dad's like, "You guys know what it is?" And the kids are, "I don't know, like, where do you plug in to listen to this? Like, where do you put the battery?" And kids today don't even know what an audio cassette is. But I turned my vehicle into a university, just like what Jim Rohn would say. I would plug in the videos, not video audios, and I would listen to all the leaders in the company. And I remember we would drive to Florida with my kids, and there were times my children have heard stories that I've listened to so many times that they could actually say what the speaker's going to say even before they finish saying it. Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. And so because of the leadership there, they taught me the importance of events and seminars, the importance of having a proper mindset, the importance of surrounding yourself with the right people. So the importance of going to an event every 30 to 60, 90 days so you can actually sharpen your blade, right? Or sharpen your axe. I'm not a lumberjack, but anybody would know if you're chopping wood, eventually your blade's going to get dull. So it doesn't matter how big and how strong a lumberjack you are. Every now and then you got to go sharpen that blade, right? So our mind is like that blade. Every now and then we got to sharpen because we go out there, we get beaten up. If you're in the network marketing industry, you guys have probably heard about the NFL. Most people have, they join the NFL. It stands for No Friends Left, right? You get out there, you get beaten up. And the vampires are usually come in the forms of friends and families. You know, it's your friends and your families that are closest to you that says, are you crazy? Are you in that thing? Well, like, why are you doing it? Does that make sense? You get beaten up. So it's important to go to events to sharpen your axe, to sharpen your mind. And that's the reason why for our businesses, for our clients that are authors and speakers and trainers, or folks that have businesses that have, maybe they're service-oriented, a business, it could be a doctor, it could be a lawyer, it could be a health professional, it could be a fitness expert, and we're building seminars and events and workshops and sales funnels for them to grow and build their business. But every now and then they get beat up as well. Does that make sense? So that's why every quarter, Dwayne, we have events like the one coming up, the Empower Women to Succeed on September 26th. Well, you know, we've got hundreds and hundreds of people that are registered. So if you are in the direct sales network marketing industry and you have all the people you need, then don't come to the event. Just come to the event to sharpen your mind. But if you need more leads, can you imagine coming to an event where you can build relationships, actually physically shake hands? I'm not sure about you. Hey, Lester, yeah, we've all been there, right? And you can relate to that. So, you know, I hate calling places and you get an answer machine. You can't talk to anybody. You know, it's like Apple. I love Apple. I probably have about 20, 30, 40 Apple devices at home right now for myself, for my kids. And the thing that I hate is when you have a problem, you can't talk to anybody. But if you actually do book a Genius Bar appointment with them and you go there, they're the best. They can solve any problem with you with your products. But I just hate talking to a machine. And so if you hate talking to a machine or you work at home and, you know, you're tired. Sometimes you get tired of being by yourself and you need some human interaction, or your kids are making too much noise in the back. Come on out, September 26th, meet other heart-centered entrepreneurs. Meet some of the top. In fact, we just happen to have two individuals, Byron Elson and Suzanne Hart, that I have a lot of respect for, both who are still in the direct sales network marketing industry, both still crushing it, both have made over $1 million or millions of dollars in income in the network marketing industry. That's going to be teaching about personal development and personal growth and talking about transformation, talking about how to break through limiting beliefs. You got Haley Patry, you know, who was a 6-figure income earner in her respective network marketing company that's now teaching people how to break through limiting beliefs. So that's the reason why I believe that distributors of companies, they need to go to events. They need to be inspired. They need to be motivated for another 30 to 60 to 90 days. You know, they think what they need is more skill sets. No, what they need is an attitude adjustment. And that's what I had learned when I was going to events. I thought, I'm going to go there. I'm going to learn what's the next silver bullet that I can find. What's the next hottest recruiting tool? No. It was really up here. That's what I needed. I needed an attitude adjustment. I needed someone to kick me, right? And actually get off the couch and go to work instead of feeling sorry for myself and blaming other people why it's not working, blaming the company, blaming the product, blaming my upline, downline, sideline. Man, I mean, it's exhausting even talking about it. Does that make sense? So you're out in the field and you've got major momentum and things are going well and you're advancing rank and your team's advancing rank and your paycheck's getting bigger and bigger every month. That's amazing. But what happens when you hit a downturn in your business? Because any business, whether it's network marketing, whether it's the insurance business, whether it's a seminar business, whether it's real estate, you've got the ups and downs. You've got the cycles. So how do you ride through that roller coaster ride? How do you ride through that emotional roller coaster ride? So being around other highly motivated individuals is so important in that personal development and personal growth. So that's a long-winded answer, Dwayne.
No, it's good.
So September 26th, you just got to be there. If you have a job and you're thinking you want to quit your job, right, take a day off. Take a sick day off. If you don't have a sick day, give me your boss's number and I'll call them and I'll tell them you're not coming into work. You just got to be there. You got to do whatever it takes to get there, right? If you're saying, okay, I want to make $100,000 a year in the network marketing industry, why wouldn't you come and meet two individuals who have made over $1 million in the industry? Does that make sense? If you're thinking, okay, I want to write and publish a book, I've been procrastinating. Well, why wouldn't you come and meet Randy Goodman, single mom raising 4 boys who have now written 4 international bestsellers? Does that make sense? You know, somebody says to me, I got millennials, I got kids, and I just read the article that you posted today, how millennials today are finally, they're smart enough to put their money into 401ks, or the smart ones are putting $5,500 a year aside with somebody like yourself into a tax-free savings account, and it grows by 5% dividends a year very conservatively, or maybe grows by 5% equity a year. And by the time they're 30 or 40, they're hot, nasty, filthy, stinking rich. They're millionaires. They're probably multi-millionaires. And it's just discipline over time. And if somebody can't afford just $5,500 a year to invest in their future, something is wrong. Does that make sense? And so why wouldn't they come out and meet somebody like yourself? So that's the power of coming out to the events and seminars and workshops we have, especially the one that's coming up September 26th. Because if you want to close off the year strong, now's the time to do it, right? Now's the time to fall forward. Now's the time to make it a September to remember, right? Where you can actually go and get your goals, get your mindset, get your dreams, get your goals, get your plan, get your priority, put everything into action, and then have the persistence to finish between now and December. So when December comes, I know some of you celebrate Christmas, some of you don't, right? It's sad because you get people who charge up their cards around Christmas time, and they use money to go on vacation at Christmas time, and then come the summer, they're still paying off their credit card bills. And then they finish paying it off and they're charging it back up again. They're going on another holiday vacation. It's just this vicious circle of being in debt constantly all the time.
Yeah.
Dwayne, I got to catch a 3 o'clock call. I just see it's ringing right now. I hope this helps you. You know, the needy and the greedy. And just because somebody's I'm an entrepreneur. I don't think I'm greedy. I like to work from 8 to faint. I don't think I'm greedy. I'm willing to do whatever it takes to succeed. I don't like you, right? We all have the same fears and doubts. What can we do? What can we do to make sure that we are financially free so we can take care of our families? It doesn't matter where we're around the world, okay? So if you want to succeed, right, likeness attracts likeness. You attract people who are needy, you're going to have an entire needy organization. You attract people who are greedy. I don't mean greedy in a bad way, but they're going to produce. They're going to produce. They're going to produce. And they're going to produce. And that's what you want. That's not, in my opinion, that's what you want, right? As a you with podcaster, your dream of hitting 300, that's just the starting point, right? Helping 300 individuals start a podcast. Like Ernest Hamilton, if you don't have a podcast in the next 30 days, I'm going to come and I'm going to have a kickboxing class with you, and you're going to be in trouble. Right? Start a podcast, Ernest. You become the new TJ Fox, right? TJ Fox doesn't have a podcast. You start a podcast. You get 100 million people listening to you. You know what's going to do for your branding and your marketing at that particular point in time? Wow. You're going to dominate. You're going to dominate the internet. You're going to dominate the social media scene. You're going to create such incredible influence. Everyone's going to line up to do business with Ernest Hamilton or whatever business you're in. And you are so well positioned, Dwayne, because you've taken the time. You've taken the time to figure it all out. You know what it's like. You know what it's like to struggle, to start a podcast. You know what it's like when I didn't know what to do. You went and figured it out. You struggle when you said, okay, what microphone should I use? You went and you researched and you got the right microphone. You went and you researched, is it a Blue Yeti or is it a Snowball? Is it an earpiece? You read and you struggled and you said, okay, do I use Blueberry? Do I use my podcast world? How do I get into Stitcher Radio? How do I get into Google Play? And then you and I just talked about yesterday, right? Just before I go on and take this call, Facebook, powerful. Facebook unfortunately they only introduced it in the U.S. right now, but Lester Bailey, you're in the U.S. Apply to have a show, like your own show page on Facebook. What a powerful tool and platform for you to have a show that could reach millions and millions and millions and millions of people. YouTube, they can get a lot of subscribers, but they're not building a community. If you could use Facebook to build a community, that's absolutely incredible. And guess what? It's free. So when someone says, I can't afford it, no. There's a difference between broke and there's a difference between poor in your bank account, and there's a difference between broke and poor in your mindset. Okay? That's what this community is for, you guys. Dwayne, thank you so much for having me on here. And I just know I love how much how passionate you are about helping entrepreneurs and helping your clients.
Cool. All right.
Cool. All right. Okay. Thank you, Mr. Richards. Take care.
All right, friends. That was the one and only Gordon. So now everyone knows why I love my life. I love what I get to do every day because I get to work with people like Gordon every day. I have him actually on speed dial. Isn't that cool? Hey, and a couple good questions. So Mr. Ernest Hemingway, he's like, how do we do that? Huh? I want to know. Well, you definitely want to know, and I will be I'll be scheduling my next workshop super shortly. Even better, what I may do, or what I will do, is actually run a Zoom call, and we'll actually run a live webinar, and we'll answer some of these questions on the webinar, and that way we can actually see everyone. I can do a screen share, desktop share, show you the ins and outs of how to get started. One or both. Hey, it doesn't have to be or, it can be and. I always say that. Some people say, oh, I got to do this or that. I'm like, why not both? Why not have a Facebook Live show and a podcast? I have both. Comm Cafe Live and the Comm Cafe podcast. Have both. I've learned a few tricks. I've learned a few lessons. And I've learned that do like I did today. Use Skype. Use Zoom calls for the podcast specific, and then do Facebook Live for stuff like today. Or then use Facebook Live to promote the podcast. Why not? Do both. Have both. And if you want to know how to do both, hey, just put up your hand. Ernest already said, hey, I want to know. Susie was on earlier today. She's like, I'm ready to get started. Just put in the comment section, get started. Ready to get started. Don't worry about the ready. Just say get started in the comment section, and I'll scroll through the feed, find all the get started people, message you, and let's get started before the end of the month. Lester Bailey, his show, he got the first 3 episodes recorded this week. Lester was on fire. We're going to do 2-3 more next week, and by the end of September, he's going to be up and live before then. But end of September, our goal is to have him 100% flying on his own. Training wheels will be off. There we go. Get started, bro. He's ready to get started. Mr. Ernest Hemingway. Ernest Hamilton. I almost upgrade you to the world famous author, Hemingway. Wonder why. Anyway, it's all good. And I got to go really soon. There was a couple points I wanted to finish off from what Gordon said. Hey, that's a couple quick things. I'm going to crank it up. Fantastic. Hey, if you saw our shows last night, we cranked it up pretty crazy. I had Dr. PPP Private on here. We were going crazy last night. And then I had Ian Gordon on, a little mellower. Ian's a pretty mellow guy, but we dropped some good truth bombs about Facebook. Hey, if you liked all the content you've been receiving, don't forget to give us a little bit of love. Give us those hearts. What is it? How do they do it? You gotta do it. Give us a little heart action. Hey, if you're getting angry, it's okay to be angry, hangry. You can give us some anger as in ready to get angry. Get ready to be crazy. Get ready to get your own show, my friends. So give us some love. Give us some love. Not just the likes. So it's like so weak. It's like, I like you. No, you loved us. You loved what Mr. Gordon shared with you today. Love that stuff. And that way, and hey, don't forget to share it. Because guess what? We weren't that long today. People can watch the replay. So share this baby. Share this nice little video to your network. And then people say, and just tag us, say, hey, check out these 2 crazy guys. This man, Gordon you need to know him. You need to come out and see us on September 26th. Click on that link in the comment section. Get your free ticket. Get your complimentary ticket. Come out and meet people like Byron Nelson. Come out and meet people like Suzanne Hart. Meet Randy Goodman. Meet the people that I get to work with on a daily basis. Hello, Dr. Andrea. Thank you. I'm getting some passion. I am getting pumped up. And you wouldn't think that I have already been on here like 8 times already today. Not 8 times, but I did. call this morning. This isn't me boasting. This is just telling me about getting a kick in the seat of the pants. I did a podcast. I had a podcast. I'll be honest. I hadn't podcasted in a little while. Life got busy on me. My apologies to my faithful listeners. But I got an episode done this morning with Lynn McIntosh. It's going to be really good. Then I got another episode done this afternoon with Tara. Really good content about accessibility and empowerment and people with disabilities. Some really heart stuff. It's going to be good. You can see those. Those will be up on my podcast before Monday. That's my commitment to you. And then we did a Facebook Live, and I got one of our prospects to say, I'm ready. Susie, she's going to be ready to start podcasting about essential oils. Yes, Dr. Andrea, another essential oils advocate. She's going to have her own podcast show. Maybe Dr. Andrea, maybe you'd like your own podcast show. Hey, Mr. Ernest, he's ready. I told the story last night about how Ernest and I met at a WordPress workshop, learning how to program our own WordPress websites like 4 years ago. That's crazy stuff. I know you can do it, Ernest. If you can program WordPress, you can run a podcast, my friend. It's not that hard. I can say that because I've learned how to do it for myself, and therefore I can teach you how to do it too. All right, enough of the craziness on this fantastic Friday. It was a killer Friday. It was an awesome Friday. It was a fantastic Friday. So much energy from getting engaged and getting moving, my friends. Now I got to move my physical butt moving because I've been sitting so much today. I got to get one of those stand-up workstations. Then I'll be even more energized. That's right, Lester. And have a live show and a podcast. And we'll show you how to play one with the other and use content multiple ways. It's what I've learned from one of my guys that I follow, Mr. Joel Comm. Don't follow him. Follow me. I can get it because that's what I do. We get people launched at Podcast Buddies. Thank you so much for stopping by. Enough of this ranting and raving and craziness. I got to go see my kids. It's Friday. Go spend some time with your friends and your family. It's Family Friday. We'll break out some board games or some cards tonight. It's Family Friday. Have a great weekend.